I hope you guys could hear me now. I was my speaker wasn't plugged in, so today it's plugged in. Yeah, technical issue. Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Iran. Let's look and see what's going on. So basically, last week Israel attacked on Iran nuclear program and military assets, and Iran responds with missile strikes, representing a significant escalation in a long-standing tension between the two nations. So we see that last week Israel attacked an Iranian nuclear program. So Iran attacked them back, while, and they're still bombing them. Let's listen.
Iran's retaliation for Israel's attack on its nuclear program. Iran continued targeting Israel with a barrage of missiles this morning. Israeli military officials say most were intercepted, but at least 3 people were killed and dozens more wounded. This comes 2 days after Israeli forces used warplanes, drones, and covert operatives to target Iran's top military leaders and scientists, along with its nuclear facilities. Iran also sent a warning to the United States, France, and the United Kingdom that their bases and ships in the Middle East will be targeted if they help Israel stop Tehran's missile attacks. Haley Ott is following the conflict from our London newsroom and joins us now. Haley, good morning.
Good morning, Dana. 2 U.S. officials confirmed to CBS News that the United States helped Israel intercept some of those Iranian missiles overnight as Iran retaliated for that Israeli attack. Sirens through the night, sending millions across Israel to bomb shelters. Waves of Iranian retaliatory strikes rained down on the country. Some made it through Israel.
They said, as we speak right now, Israel is getting bombed as we speak right now. They're getting, demolished. We'll look at some pictures later on. We'll see some pictures of damages that occurred.
Missile defense systems smashing into homes, injuring dozens and killing at least 3. Israel, meanwhile, continued its massive assault on Iran, its largest ever air offensive against its longtime enemy, killing at least 70 people and wounding hundreds, targeting military leaders, infrastructure, and Iran's nuclear program, including nuclear scientists and facilities, like Iran's main enrichment site at Natanz, shown here in the aftermath of an attack. Israel said its assault was necessary to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. On Friday, global nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, warned of the serious risks of combat around nuclear sites.
Any military action that jeopardizes the safety and security of nuclear facilities risks grave consequences for the people of Iran, the region, and beyond.
Hundreds of supporters of Iran's hardline government turned out in Tehran to celebrate their country's response to Israel's attacks. We will continue to give a crushing response with the support of our people, our leader, and our brave soldiers, this woman said. But many Iranians are unhappy with their government, with the state of the economy and the lack of certain freedoms.
Wow, look at that. Look how the city is. That's like old cities.
The proud people of Iran.
And Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent a message to the Iranian people.
And the time has come for you to unite around your flag and your historic legacy by standing up for your freedom from an evil and oppressive regime.
Dr. Raz Zimt is the director of the Iran program at Israel's Institute for National Security Studies. Is there a risk that the regime could fall because of these assaults?
Right now, I think that the only way for a regime change in Iran is if the Iranian regime collapses from within, or if we see more and more protests going on inside Iran.
And Israel's defense minister has warned this morning that, quote, Tehran will burn if it continues firing missiles at Israel, which it has vowed to do. Michelle?
Haley Ott in London. Thank you.
God damn. They're talking dirty. They're talking crazy. They're saying, oh. Had to regulate. Iran had to regulate. Let's see what's going on here. This is happening right now as we speak. This is going on right now.
White House official telling him the meeting with the national security advisors in the Situation Room starting soon.
A senior White House official tells me the meeting with National Security Advisor in the Situation Room will start very soon. The official told me that the U.S. strikes inside Iran on targets, like the facility where Iran has its nuclear program, are on the table. Iran should just build it. This is why they're doing what they're doing. You know?
Talked about strikes inside Iran on targets likely the facility where Iran has its nuclear program. Strikes are on the table. Let's bring into the conversation right now senior fellow with JINSA and former National Security Advisor under Vice President Dick Cheney, John Hanna. John, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox. What type of conversations went on inside of that Situation Room, and what are they talking about in relation to potential strikes against Iran?
Thanks for having me, Andy. I think they're clearly looking now at real live options for U.S. intervention on Israel's side to go after these Iranian nuclear sites, particularly that deepest, most important nuclear uranium enrichment site that the Iranians have at Fordow, built several hundred feet under the ground, under reinforced concrete that only U.S. bunker-busting bombs can get to, delivered by U.S. strategic bombers that Israel doesn't have. There's also a need. Israel's over the skies of Iran constantly, destroying missiles, destroying other nuclear sites, destroying military leadership sites. They have a lot of planes in the air a long distance from Israel to sustain that kind of pace of operations. They could really use some advanced U.S. aerial.
Remember what I said. When Israel wants to tell everybody what to do. They want to tell France what to do, Turkey what to do, Russia what to do, what not to do, what they can do, who they can buy from, what you can't buy from, what kind of currency you can use, what kind of currency you can't use. You want to buy a boat, you got to come through us. That's Israel, which is Western Europeans, Ashkenazi, Polish, Ukrainian, Irish, German, UK, and many more, Yugoslavia, so forth, converted to Judaism and changed their name. So, like his name is John Hanna. His real name might be something different, some Russian name like Jodromo Halajushki, something like that. So we see and nobody's talking about it. And that's why I say stay away from these wars, because they created Hamas. They created Israel. They created all these characters. They created Martin Luther King. Okay? They created the Black Panther. They didn't create the Black Panther, but they infiltrated it. But you know what? They created these things. So the Democratic Party, they create these things, and then they got you picking sides when they're controlling both sides. That's what we got to be careful about.
Refueling capabilities, probably over the skies of Iraq, that Israel also doesn't have, that would dramatically enhance its ability to keep its Air Force in the air 24/7.
Now I was looking at some pictures right here. They said Iran bombed all of they bombed all of Israel Air Force Base. I don't know where this was at. Right. What's going on here? Oh, Iran strikes Mossad. Mossad is Zionist. It's the Jews. TikTok. But don't stop. Iran strike Mossad's headquarters in Israel. Wow. Oh. Okay, let's move on. So this is Tel Aviv skyline. Ongoing tension between Israel and Iran. So this is Israel right here, Tel Aviv. We're just looking and seeing. It must be a really, really nerve-wracking time. But people are still going on. People are still going out. People are still whining and dining. People are like, oh my God, let's drive by there and see what disaster happened. Everybody's feeling it, the heat. So we know that this is not his real picture. This is not really him. And the history's a lie. It was old Spain, not Mexico. So.
Tel on 7.
But it's not what we're talking about, though. Why would this come up here? What are we doing here? So, yeah, right here. Let's go back here.
Drowning in sewage water, non-stop explosion in Khamenei's stronghold. Car bombs exploded suddenly in many locations around Tehran, the capital of Iran, and dozens of nuclear scientists were eliminated, and the Revolutionary Guard's stronghold, or what is left of it, is flooded with sewage water. Netanyahu, who eliminated the head of the intelligence and his deputy in Tehran. And meanwhile, in Israel, there are many dead from the missile strikes since the start of the operation. In last night's attacks, 10 people were killed. Amongst the dead are an 80-year-old woman, a 60-year-old woman, 2 women in their 40s, 2 teenage girls, a boy about 10, and a girl about 8. I'm Yair Pinto, and I bring you Boots on the Ground, the news report about what you need to know that's happening in Israel. Today, I'm here with our senior correspondent, Mati Shoshani, to bring you all the truth about what is happening in this region. This is the end of day 3 of the direct war between Israel and Iran, and Operation Am Kelavi. Mati, we will already diving together into the details, but let's quickly go over the headlines. Is this the beginning of the end? Is Iran taking a hard blow from Israel? Let's go to reports from Iran.
Let's go.
Producers, this plugin helps you finish your tracks way faster. Check this out. I'm going to start with this loop that I made here.
Cars exploded in Tehran unexpectedly, and at the same time, more nuclear scientists were eliminated. And on the streets of Tehran, several cars exploded, and according to the report, more nuclear scientists were eliminated. Earlier, Israeli officials warned following the missile fire towards Israel that buildings are going to fall in Tehran. Iran is on its knees, and Tehran begs for a ceasefire with Israel following painful strikes and severe damage to critical infrastructure across the country. Israel made history, an unprecedented Air Force event in Iran. At a distance of more than 2,000 kilometers from the Israeli territory, the Air Force carried out a pinpoint strike on an Iranian tanker aircraft. The strike was carried out near the city considered the holiest in Iran. And in addition, a significant strike in the heart of Tehran. The head of the Revolutionary Guard's intelligence and his deputy were eliminated. And on top of all of that, reports in Iran just now call of explosions in the city of Sananjada near the Iraqi border. According to reports in Iran, explosions are heard in the city of Sananjad in northwestern Iran near the border with Iraq. The IDF announced moments ago that fighter jets struck missile production sites, radar and launchers in Tehran. The Air Force struck and destroyed sites for surface-to-surface missile production, radar sites, and surface-to-air missile launchers in Tehran. Iran returns fires in waves towards Israel. Missiles hit buildings in northern and southern Israel in recent hours in salvo from Iran. 7 wounded were evacuated to the Rambam hospital in Haifa, in Israel, as a result of the direct hit in that city. And the energy market goes into a spin. The price of a barrel of oil soars, and this is only the beginning. Oil prices last weekend showed the most extreme volatility since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. And earlier, a security source confirmed which struck an oil facility near Tehran. The missiles that Iran has not yet pulled out and the dependence on the United States to destroy the nuclear program, the next stage of this war, Israel still hopes that the bunker penetrator bomb that only the Americans have will be the finishing kick and will complete the historic move of destroying the nuclear project. One dramatic achievement is complete, opening Iran's skies to a permanent Israeli presence. Mati Shoshani will brief us on all the details about what Trump said, and that in an interview with ABC, the United States president did not rule out the possibility of throwing his army into this campaign, and added that he's open to Putin mediating between Israel and Iran. Much lies ahead, so let's dive into details. Yair Pinto, this is your boots on the ground report about what is happening in Israel, and today is day 620 of the war against Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen, the militias in Iraq, and the terror organization in Judea and Samaria. All of them are taking their orders from Iran Revolutionary Guard, the head of the axis of evil in the Middle East. And guys, here, Mati Shoshani and myself bring you live all the information is coming out of Israel during this war. But 1 second before we start, I want to call on you to help us share the truth and help us continue to spread it. So first thing, to share the truth, please hit the subscribe button here on YouTube so you never miss another episode of Boots on the Ground.
That's Tel Aviv.
And second
That's
of all, if you want to
Iran.
help
Hidden
us
Tel
create
Aviv.
more videos like this one,
That's Iran.
please consider
Hidden
making
Tel
a
Aviv.
donation to tvnisrael.com/give. You can see the link here in the screen below. And you can also hit the donate button on YouTube to help us reach more people with what is happening in Israel so that you pray for the peace of Jerusalem, but in a way that you know how to do because you know what's happening here. So, Mati, are you with me now? How was the last 24 hours for you?
You made me fall asleep.
This house that hit last night, and this is the blast damage behind me. These residential apartment buildings shredded. The big hotel over there,
Wow.
office building,
Iran is
that's
hitting
been
some
blasted too.
stuff.
Right now, look here, you see people.
Oh no, what happened? Ooh. Israel intelligence building hit. Wow. 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 Strike military base. And people were there. That's what and people were there. That's what I'm getting. Wow, this is serious war. Holy smoke. What is this? What is this? Why is she crying? Shut up. What is that? The aftermath of Iran's attack. Whoa. Whoa, calm down, bro. Bro. Iran said Israel ain't about that live. But Israel's fighting back, they got their jets. Wow, look at the jet right up close.
Multiple explosions rock cities across Iran and Israel, killing civilians and wounding dozens.
My bad. Wow, they're taking pictures. What? Okay. What happened? Come on, man. What? My bad, guys. I'm sorry.
Mati Shoshani, is Mati with me now?
Yeah, man. That TikTok
I don't think
is
Mati
frozen.
already is with me. Mati has spent
Total weighs
already
307,000.
3 days in IDF reserves in Judea and Samaria, preparing for a possible infiltration by terrorists associated with Iran. And the first few days of getting into a new area, you need to learn the area, you need to train, you need to make sure that your weapons and your gear is up to date. So I guess you will join us a bit later. But Mati, is that you? I see you.
I hope I'm actually here, Yair.
Yes, you are. You look a bit dark, but I can see you. It's good to have you here, Mati.
I'm apologizing. This is not to our usual level. I just came straight to do this live, and I'm with very little resources here, as you know. But
yes.
It's good to be with you.
I appreciate it, Mati. So what can you tell me, first of all, about how you are doing, how is the IDF doing during these days, and then we'll dive into the details about the last hours and the attacks from Iran against Israel just now.
Well, I want to tell you, I just spent a very, very long day, because it's after midnight right now, a very, very long day training and prepping with several other units in Judea and Samaria. And I want to tell you, the Israeli army is stronger now than it's, I think, ever been in this region. highly prepared, highly motivated, highly mobilized to really prepare.
They fought their own creation, Hamas. They lost. They fought the Palestine Liberation Army. They lost. They fought Hezbollah. Lost. They fought the Lebanese. Lost. So now they're going to go attack Iran, which is 10 times stronger than those countries that they previously went to war with and did not accomplish their objective. Their objective is to build that pipeline and build that canal going through Gaza all the way up to Turkey for France. So that's the project, and it needs to be done by at least 2030. So it's going to be a long, long war. But what Israel is seeing is that, okay, we got to take out these big guys to get these little guys, because we're just going to be going back and forth. So that's what Israel is doing right now. That's what they're seeing. That's what they did with Syria. So they're seeing that they got to take out, the big fish before the little fish. So we'll see what happens.
For any eventualities that's coming our way. I spent a lot of time in briefing in the last couple of days. And I want to tell you, guys, the IDF that we're encountering today is very, very different than the IDF of October 7th, 2023. It is highly motivated. It is enormous in numbers. It's much better equipped, much better trained than it was previously. And many of the lessons have been learned since then. A lot of the things we've been talking about, obviously, I can't repeat on camera. But I think when we're looking at what we've seen in Iran in recent days, when we've seen the victories and the success of the Israeli army, to think that we're an army that's fighting right now in multiple fronts. I'm in Judea and Samaria. We have people in Gaza. We have people, in countless places around the world. Who can count how many fronts we're fighting right now? It's really, really impressive to see how successful it's been. Highly impressive. And the readiness level that we're experiencing right now is amazing. And I want to say this also, the motivation level that we're experiencing is very, very high. Support from the civilian population is, as usual, incredible, especially in Judea and Samaria. But the military is ready. The military is, I'm right now in an area where many of the commanders that I'm working with are people we've now worked with multiple times in the last 18 months. So the units are high in training, high in expertise. It's a well-oiled machine and a big machine at this point.
Well, thank you, Mati. So before we dive into more topics, I want to get into all the details, boots on the ground style, and then I'll get back to Mati Shoshani. So, the Iranian news agency IRNA reported that 5 car bombs exploded across Tehran after an Israeli wave of airstrikes across the Islamic Republic. So according to reports in Iran, in the explosions, more nuclear scientists were eliminated, and footage published on the social media networks showed smoke plumes across Iran's capital. And amidst the car bomb explosions and the continued Air Force strikes in Tehran, many residents were documented leaving the city. Iran's traffic police chief testified to a surge in the number of vehicles streaming out of the capital at each exit from the city, and the New York Times reported long lines at gas stations. And meanwhile, an eyewitness to the strikes in Tehran told Reuters that indeed several areas were struck. Simultaneously, and called on Iran's supreme leader, they just struck right now. Khamenei, end the war. These are the calls of some Iranian people. And amidst the car bomb explosions, the continued Air Force strikes in Tehran, many residents were documented leaving the city. And Iran's traffic police chief testified to a surge of number of vehicles. Guys, this is something crazy. It's not normal to hear these reports from a people that was under this evil regime for so long, because this regime was oppressing the Iranian people, and now they feel that they have to rebel, even if just a little bit. Okay, so let's pray for these people. So,
and it's funny how we're not getting no report of how many Israeli planes got shot down. How did you take over the Iran's airspace? There's no transparency, there's no communication like the Russian-Ukraine war and a couple of others. Which one was the other one? The Syrian war. So it's like private. You don't know what's going on. You just have to go by what they tell you. But TikTok over here is giving us some pictures right here, and it doesn't look good for Israel. Whoa, I wonder. Damn. Yeah, TikTok's just something else. Okay, let's see what happens. It pops up. Wow, look at this shit stuff going on right here. Fresh Iranian missile on its way to Israel. That's what's going on right now.
For the sake of Allah, forgive us. We made a huge mistake attacking you. For the sake of Allah, forgive us. We made a huge mistake attacking you.
Oh, that's Israeli.
For the sake of Allah, forgive.
They're joking. They're clowning each other.
Let me see. Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame! What a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. Whoa, 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 whoa! He says immediately. I'm not making this up. Yeah, this is everybody talking about it here too. Trump says everyone should immediately evacuate. Maybe he knows about an impending Israeli operation. That's probably what it could be. He knows some crazy shit is about to happen.
World War III, baby. Iran versus Israel. Who you got your money on? I'm taking bets. Let's do it. Let's see what I know. I know that Iran has been months away from building a nuclear weapon since the 1980s. Seriously. That's Netanyahu. Dude been screaming that since flip phones were a thing. Every few years, it's the same headlines. Iran is this close. Yeah. Iran is this close. Iran is this close. Yeah, you've been saying that since Tupac was alive, bro. Come on, man. Come on. We need a new story. We need something new. According to him, on Fox News, they had clear evidence. He said said that on Fox News. We have clear evidence Iran was enriching uranium for weapons of mass destruction. You know, the same type of clear evidence they had when they swore Iraq had weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
We all saw how that played out, right? Pretty good, huh? Played out for the world. Pretty good. He sat there and he swore on whatever. They have weapons of mass destruction. Come on, man. Now, here's where it gets spicy on some Indian curry stuff. The Epstein files dropped, and boom, Israeli figures and alleged Mossad ties show up in the same files. Claims say Epstein may have been involved in blackmail operations for intel services. Yep, the story is deeper than the Titanic. And notice, all we've been getting is Israel's side of the story. Have you seen anyone from Iran's government getting interviewed? I haven't. I personally haven't. It's like watching a boxing match and only hearing from one fighter. Other fighter, his opinion doesn't matter. It's not like he exists. It's not like he has an opinion. It's not like he was in the ring punching and getting punched. No, it's okay. We listen to one side of the story.
Israel has launched a powerful strike on Iran, severely damaging its sensitive nuclear sites. In this strike, 3 of Iran's top military leaders were reportedly, including Chief of Staff Mohammad Bagheri, IRGC Commander Hassan Salami, and Operations Head Gholam Ali Rashid. Israel called it Operation Rising Lion, in which dozens of civilians, several Iranian scientists were killed, and hundreds injured, marking a major blow to Iran's military and nuclear program. Israel claims the strike aimed to stop Iran from becoming a nuclear power. Since the strike, Iran has been extremely furious. This was the biggest attack on the country since 1980. In response, Israel shut down its airspace, closed schools, and declared a nationwide high alert. Just hours later, Iran launched a powerful retaliation, firing hundreds of ballistic missiles at Israel. Within minutes, war sirens rang out across the country, creating a scene of fear and chaos. Iran named its operation True Promise 3. The ballistic missiles didn't strike all at once. They fell like heavy rain, wave after wave, refusing to stop. And now, it seems the countdown to World War III has begun. What do you think? Was Israel right to launch this strike, or has it opened the doors to something far more dangerous? Israel has launched a powerful strike on Iran, severely damaging its sensitive nuclear sites. In this strike, 3 of Iran's top military leaders were reportedly...
The Shah of Iran and their family members want Iran back. They want to go back to their country. They want to go back to Iran. So we understand that. We understand that Israel needs to build a pipeline, a canal leading through Gaza. So we're following the money, and we're not getting involved in these, what you call a conspiracy. Wow, look at that.
ट्रंप का कहना है ईरान एक एटमी मुल्क है, उनके एटम बम जमीन के नीचे मौजूद है। इसराइल का कहना था कि ईरान के पास एटम बम नहीं है, मगर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने कहा कि ईरान के पास एटम बम है। ईरान ने बताया कि अगर अमेरिका ने इसराइल का साथ दिया तो वो एटमी हथियारों को इस्तेमाल में ला सकते हैं।
That's funny. Sorry for my eyes. I'm just watching the videos here. So that's what's going on right now. I mean, we're sitting at home having, a lot of us at work came back, but we should be thankful because These people
Things,
are getting
things between
hit
the
right
United
now.
States, Israel, and Iran are escalating very quickly as Iranian state media has just issued a statement saying there will be a surprise tonight that the world will remember for centuries. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has also announced that they have launched their 10th wave of attacks, Operation True Promise. Tensions between the two countries are rising fast, and the Iranian State Guard says this is just the beginning. Israel is also scrambling to evacuate 38,000 tourists right now as things become very hectic. Iran also announced.
Yeah, so that's what's going on, you guys. Thanks for coming by, you know. Remember, all right, have a good day. Thanks for coming by.